In 1933, Adolf Hitler became Chancellor of Germany. However, most of this was because of the Hitlerjugend, aka the Hitler Youth. Hitler Youth was a youth movement in the Nazi Germany era that would soon overpower other various youth movements and make their mark on history. The Hitler Youth began in 1922 as Hitler claimed the first youth movement for the Nazi Party. This youth movement trained and recruited future members of the Sturmabteilung, which is the adult wing for the Nazi Party. Hitler was arrested in 1923 and put into prison due to the failure of the Beer Hall Putsch. The Beer Hall Putsch was when Hitler tried to seize power in Munich. He was charged with treason and was supposed to serve 5 years in prison. This ended the Hitler Youth for now. However, Hitler was released 9 months later. The Hitler Youth started back up in 1926 with Kurt Gruber as its leader. He created the first Hitler Youth uniform. The uniform had a brown shirt, black shorts, and a unique armband with a Nazi swastika. Gruber led about 300 children in the Nuremberg rally. Hitler then gave them a tribute. After 1929, the Hitler Youth became the official youth group for the Nazi Party. The Bund Deutsche Mädel, aka Band of German Girls, became the female branch for the Hitler Youth in 1930. The Hitler Youth came to another end once more in 1932 when it was banned by the German Weimar government. However, this was only temporarily as Hitler became Chancellor of Germany on January 30th, 1933. Before so, there were many propaganda marches and rallies that associated with the Hitlerjugend. The Hitler Youth was one of the main reasons Hitler became Chancellor. Becoming a part of the Hitler Youth was a major yet difficult process. While having to require being in many parades, rallies, propaganda marches, and the family paying fees, the registration also required a pass that was to prove that the racial heritage was pure Aryan. Children that had one parent that was Jewish and one that wasn't was considered a Mischling and couldn't join the Hitler Youth. In a ceremony welcoming new members, a leader of the Nazi Party would present a short speech. After that, boys and girls, one at a time, would step forward to take the Hitler Youth oath.
In the presence of this blood banner, which represents our hero, I swear to devote all my energies
and my strength to the savior of our country, Adolf Hitler.
I am willing and ready to give up my life for him.
So help me God.
In 1933, on February 27th, the Reichstag building burned. Then Hitler banned any communist movement in Germany. After April 1st, 1933, the Nazis and Hitler Youth boycotted anything that was Jewish. Jewish children were kicked out of schools, adults were kicked out of jobs, and they were considered inferior in the Hitler Youth schooling. The schooling in the Hitlerjugend threw away the old curriculum and replaced it with a new one that included racial science and eugenetics. The youth were taught that Aryans were the superior race and Jews were inferior. They were taught what a Jew looked like and how to identify one just by their looks. Once the Jewish children were kicked out or left and enrolled in a Jewish school, the taunting of the Hitler Youth would only get worse. A principal once called the police about this. The police's excuse? They were too busy. The law was then set up to the point where Jewish people were unable to attend any school. There was a Disney short that came out in 1943 that was anti-Nazi propaganda, but how the Hitler Youth was taught was about as close as it was in reality. On November 9th, 1938, the Night of the Broken Glass began. This was a night where the stormtroopers, SS, and the Hitlerjugend broke into many buildings that were Jewish businesses, synagogues, and homes. Many Jewish people were beaten and killed. Many of the belongings in Jewish stores were burned along with shattered windows. Also, some of the German homes were confused with the Jewish homes.
Wie alt bist denn du? 12? Und du? 14? Und du, warum seid ihr hier? Wollt ihr Krieg spielen? Geht nach Hause, spielt was anderes.
Wer sind Sie denn? Was wollen Sie hier?
Ich will meinen Sohn, und zwar lebend.
Sie sollten lieber stolz sein auf Ihren Sohn. Er hat 2 Panzer abgeschossen. Der Führer persönlich wird ihn heute dafür auszeichnen.
Many Nazi soldiers would teach the youth how to use weapons such as the Panzerfaust, stick grenades, and many other different types of weapons to fight against the Allies in World War II. They also fought on Normandy Beach against the British. Some of the youth were about 10 years old. During the fight to protect Berlin from the Soviets, Hitler would come out of his bunker and praise the Hitler Youth and award them with the Iron Cross. Then, on April 30th, 1945, Hitler committed suicide. The people in Germany were told of Hitler's death via radio, and many were devastated. Germany surrendered to the Americans. However, many of the Hitler Youth refused to surrender. They wanted to fight, but ended up becoming a POW, prisoners of war. The Americans sent them to a concentration camp to show them what and who they used to serve, a mass murderer. The Hitler Jugend, the Nazi movement of German children. Brainwashing at its finest? Most definitely. This was a huge mark on history that many people don't know of. The main reason Hitler became the Führer in Germany was because of the Hitler Youth. If it wasn't for them, there could be a strong possibility none of this could have happened.